Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Amanda. Amanda Talbot. I'm the CEO and founder of the Together Project. I am so excited that you guys are here today to share this next hour together, to where we can rethink together how we design, buy, brand, and sell for the future. I also need to be transparent. I am here to also tell you about the launch of the Together Project, which it will be launching in mid December 2020. And what a year to launch in. I've been working on the Together Project for the last 2 years, and basically the idea of creating this online platform was to really create a place for hope, for our planet, future of our planet, and for all of us on it. And so the way that we've done this, and actually 2020 with everything that's happened, has really cemented exactly what we've been working towards. And so we've created an online platform. So first, there's a marketplace where you will find the most incredible impact brands, positive impact brands that have dedicated their businesses to the planet and people before profits, even if they are profit-making companies. So you will find the most beautiful homeware, the most beautiful fashion, uh, uh, wellness and beauty products, and stuff for your kids. And yeah, super excited. We've vetted as well all of the brands that are on the platform, and the way, imagine like a B Corp but for products. And so all the businesses are basically working towards to be radically transparent on the platform, so you know where your every dollar is going. The other part to our platform is the education part, which we have called knowledge, and that I'm really excited about. And it's to help businesses and designers who want to put impact in their design thinking, and how to go about doing that. And if you are going to go into communities, into developing countries, um, or wanting to work within the environment and with circular design and sustainability, then we helping the tools for you to do that and make sure that you are kind of going into those areas and putting in actually positive and meaningful impact, and not the other way around. And then the third thing, and actually another really great part about the education part too, knowledge, is actually the mindset section. And my favorite course at the moment, which is by Vashti Whitfield, and she is holding a course to help us how to leave legacy in the world, for either as an individual or even as a business. And can't wait for you guys to dig into that one. And then the third section, which is really, really cool, is our storytelling section. And we have the most amazing filmmakers and journalists and photographers who are from across the globe, and they are telling their story from their regions, and really letting us know who their superheroes are, and or who are working in anything to do with the environment, to social justice issues, to just stories I think we need to know, and community projects. One of my favorite stories is actually a short film in Lagos about some young rollerbladers who've created this community there. And that, I can't wait for you guys to get to watch that. So anyway, but today we are here to talk about how to rethink together, how to design, buy, brand, and sell for the future. And I can't wait to dig into this. So I'm just disappearing for like 1 second, just to switch this all around. And I don't panic if I've disappeared. So I'm coming straight back. So give me 1 second. Hi, here I am. Okay, let's do this. What if after this time we spend together, I can show you a way to design, brand, buy, and sell your products that will literally change not only your life for the better, but a stranger's life too? Does that sound good? Can I see a show of hands? Who would like a better life? Well, yes, me too. And on my journey to make a better life, I wrote a book called Happy. I traveled the world documenting ideas on how people were using design to help us find joy in our lives. And to be honest, I came out the other side from writing this book feeling depressed. I definitely found I felt overwhelmed with what I saw in the world. I felt alone and, truth be told, a little helpless. I definitely came across incredible concepts provide and provided scientific outcomes about being happy. But the thing that was so clear in the Western world was so many people were feeling disconnected. You only had to look at the news and see the world falling apart with environmental and social disasters. Yes, I created tools to show you how to be happy and design spaces to make you feel great in, but it just wasn't enough. Here was I trying to tell everyone how to find happiness. But how do you do that when there are so many global issues? I had to radically change my approach, and I realized I had to rethink the future, but not on my own, but with a community of people who felt like me and knew they wanted to live in a fairer and more connected world. So, what if I told you around 9 million people die every year of hunger and hunger related diseases? This is more than from AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. So, what if I told you a child dies from hunger every 10 seconds? Would you like to know that as a business owner, every dollar you spend can actually change the life of someone for the better? And would you like to be the person who could make a bigger difference in the world today? Well, I'm Amanda Talbot, founder and CEO of the Together Project. This is an online, transparent, ethical retail platform that houses a marketplace for designers and retailers who care about the future of the world around us. So, would you like a new way of doing business that will make a positive difference in the world? Because let's face it, if we have stuffed things up, who here would like to know how to design, brand, buy, and sell to make a bigger difference in the world today? Can I see a show of hands? Well, you are in the right room if you put your hand up. So, and I've got some great news for you. Projections show that global online sales are going to grow to up to $4.8 trillion by 2021. Shoppers are expected to spend up to $150 billion US on sustainable products by 2021. So imagine growing your business on the Together Project by going through our free social and environmental vetting system so that each product you sell is enhancing the lives of others and helping restore the planet. Everyone loves guilt-free shopping. So when you purchase from the Together Project, you are making a difference. So rethink together and believe in the power of people and that our choices can be a force for good. So what if I told you this click can feed a child? Imagine if everyone here right now clicked together at the same time, we could feed another child. Maybe we should do this. Come on, everybody. On the count of three, let's all click together. 1, 2, 3. Imagine if we clicked on a computer or our phone right now and it fed another child. Come on, everyone, click with me. On the count of three, I promise this will make sense. 1, 2, 3. We will begin to see a shift. Now, just imagine if 100,000 people all clicked on their computer or phone at the same time. Come on, please, let's do this one more time. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. This is where we can begin to rethink together the way we design, brand, and sell for the future. Our collective spending power is our superpower. In 2012, I wrote a book called Rethink the Way You Live. I asked my readers to rethink how they live, work, and play. I predicted living trends from our deeper need to connect with nature, well-being, food, and how we rethink how we live, work, and play. Now we need to rethink together how we design, build our brands, and sell for the future. All right, give that person beside you a little nudge and say, are you ready? The thing I've learned is you don't have to be an expert to make change, but change can make you an expert. I mean, look what Greta Thunberg did in 1 year. The four most important changes we as designers and brands need to take into consideration right now is to rethink together, one, how we, how we design, two, how we buy for your brand, three, build our brands, and four, sell our products. When we rethink together, we are aligned with brands, causes, and services who all believe with us that if we care for the future and can envision a better one, it will better dictate the present and our decision here and now. One of the most challenging things I found was the fashion and home industry has been slow to embrace change over recent years. We have seen an explosion of conscious consumerism in other areas. Wellness and self-care has taken off, along with accompanying growth of organic food, clean beauty, and mindfulness practices. These products and practices are sometimes discussed in the context of the altruistic impact, but more often they're marketed based on personal health benefits. So before we can get into how to rethink together how we design, brand, and sell for the future, we have to face up to the harsh reality is that despite rising coverage in the ethical fashion and home brands, it has been a hard sell. The impact is felt almost exclusively by unseen workers, ecosystems, and animals often many thousand miles away. This is by actually, these photos are from Norla, a brand that we really love on the Together Project. As brands, we have made it hard for well-intentioned consumers to act on their values, given the complexity and a brand's transparency of supply chains. The minimal information available about how any given product was made has almost been impossible to find out, or it's been super vague. But then This year, the world stopped. Our lives literally were turned upside down, and we were made to literally pause. The negative impact of COVID-19 on health and financial stability was and is terrifying. For the first time, we could visibly see a virus that started so far away has impacted us directly. But something else happened during this pandemic. We saw our planet start to heal itself, and we saw communities come together and share incredible acts of kindness. The world came together and became more connected than ever before. Were you like me before COVID-19, questioning how do we rethink forever in a world running out of time? The United Nations told us in 2019, in just over a decade is all that remains to stop irreversible damage from climate change. It felt impossible to hit that target. It has been said that to change the world, you first have to imagine a better one. And for the first time, we've actually seen that it is possible for the planet to get better and that we do really care for each other. Did you see the before and after shots of the skies in China that were once heavily polluted, suddenly had crisp blue skies? How amazing was it to see the images from the Venice canals with clean water? And did you hear in Punjab, India, locals got to see the Himalayan ranges for the first time in decades? Prior COVID, a survey held by UK marketing agency Futura stated that 88% of 1,000 consumers surveyed in the USA and UK said they would like brands to help them become more environmentally friendly and ethical in daily life. In the same survey, the same people felt 43% of brands make it harder to be more environmentally and ethically friendly. However, when we rethink together, we are able to make the shopping experience easy for your customers to be able to purchase with a click to put the planet and people in the forefront. I believe enterprises that turn profits into positive change are the businesses the world needs. So this is where you come in, and this is where we can get you to play an even more important role for our future with how we get you to design, build your brand, buy products, and sell. And yes, this utopian future can be achieved by, what is it? See it, a simple click. I would like to introduce you to someone most of us have met at least once in our life. Please meet the Big Mac. I apologize if you're a vegetarian or a vegan. I promise this will all make a lot of sense in a sec. McDonald's states on their website, their burgers start with 100% local beef patties. Then comes the delicious combination of crisp iceberg lettuce, melting signature cheese, onions, and pickles between a toasted sesame seed bun. And don't forget the McDonald's special sauce. Can someone here tell me how much it is for us to go into one of their establishments and purchase a Big Mac? Well, in Australia, it's $6.40 Australian. Former World Bank, and actually sometimes you'll find it for selling for like $1 on special. So former World Bank economist Raj Patel in 2009 estimated the real cost of a McDonald's Big Mac actually cost $200 US. So why are we only paying $6.40 Australian? The reason Big Mac sells for almost 100th of this $200 US figure is that their price does not account for the real costs. These include their carbon footprint, their impact on the environment in terms of water use and soil degradation, and the enormous healthcare costs of diet-related illnesses such as diabetes and heart disease. As a corporation, McDonald's doesn't have any responsibility for these costs. We do. Society as a whole pays in the form of environmental disasters, climate change, the depletion of natural resources, and higher health costs. The thing is, I don't want you to feel bad about eating a burger. All I'm asking is to start to think about the bigger picture around a product and begin to think of its journey, its path to purchase, and the path after purchase. I don't know how you feel, but I feel enough is enough. Did you know that 91% of business leaders believe that transparency builds trust? But as we discussed earlier, actually, consumers feel that's one of the last things that businesses are making it easy for us to see. So we can rebuild together and do this in a seismic way if we rethink together: 1, how we design; 2, build our brands; 3, buy; and 4, sell our products. We can do it in an exponential way if we come to one platform to build a true movement that changes the world, and we do it by rethinking together. Now, let's get into how we can change the world by rethinking together how we design, buy, brand, and sell for the future. Designers, it's time. Designers, out of any individual who can make change in the world, it's you. Planet Earth is your client now, and your new client's only brief is design for hope. Good design. Design for good is our motto on the Together project. We ask, why choose between doing good and looking good when you can do both? Are you going to be part of the clean design revolution? I've been working with the term I've coined clean design. Clean design is where product or building serves both people and planet. It is where, instead of what we design takes resources from the planet, design has a 100% positive impact. My design studio Snoop, is taking the steps to change how we design interiors and product. We still have a long way to go in our learnings, but we are committed to change our way of design thinking. We are working closely with the Together project to vet all of our suppliers. We have told our suppliers what we are expecting from them as brands, and we are putting as much clean design product in front of our clients within the selection process. We are changing our design thinking and how we approach design. We know design is no longer just about putting the human spirit first. We know it's about equally putting people and the planet as one. Let me introduce you to a brand that brings us hope. This drinking bottle by Ocean Bottle, we sell on Together project. To make the bottle, they collect 11.4 kilos of ocean-bound plastic, equivalent to about 1,000 plastic bottles before it enters into the ocean. What's more, the plastic waste they collect is fueling social change. Social is a big part that you need to take in right now. Collectors receive digital tokens in exchange for plastic waste, which can go towards money, tuition, healthcare, microfinance, all via blockchain technology. And Ocean Bottle has teamed up with our partner, Plastic Bank, to pay above market rates to plastic collectors and set up this recycling infrastructure so that plastic can be collected, sold, and created into new products. The extra bonus about this product is how it can be recycled at its end of life. I would love to show you one of the first hats my team at the Together project designed and had made in 2019. We set up a pilot program in Upper East region in Ghana, Bolgatanga. This was so we could really understand what it meant to work in the informal sector and how a designer or brand could engage in a much more positive way. The bucket hat is made from local straw, transported from southern part of Ghana, and made by master artisan Nicholas. We retail at 150 Australian dollars. When I look at this hat, I know before we sell it how much goes into materials, transport, into labor, which is above the living wage. I know this particular hat was hand weaved over 1 week on and off during the wet season, where a lot of the weavers in this region are hard to track down because they are harvesting in the fields, roads are blocked from landslides, and many of the locals are suffering from malaria. When we sell the hat, I can tell the customer that profits are being raised for the community to go into school supplies, bringing power to the classroom and nurses' hut so there is some electricity in the community. It will help with planting edible trees to help to bring extra economy into the community due to agriculture playing a deep part in their culture and lifestyle. I can also tell you profits are going towards Nicholas's pension fund and healthcare. I can also tell you this is what the community has come together to ask as their first priorities they feel they need. On top of that, I can tell the customer if this hat for any reasons finds itself in landfill, it will break down and leave no trace or harm. Oh, and we also allowed for a tree to be planted with Eden Reforestation Projects with the purchase of this hat. We are so radically transparent in the whole process. You know where every dollar is going. And I can also tell you that the Together project made 70 Australian dollars profit from this single hat. The question is, does the customer having all this information think we can do better? I think maybe. The thing is, we've given them all the details to make the choice. So let's identify this object, say from among equals, and who we are selling on the Together project, that is paying someone above a fair wage, is putting back into communities and helping children to get through secondary school, clean water, simple diseases eradicated, trees are given back to forests, and so on. Do you feel too that you need to ask ourselves, what kind of world am I creating? Have you come to a place where you need to look at every company, product, and building and ask if it reflects your values and the change you are looking for? There is no easy way, but we can do this to be profitable economically, socially, and environmentally. This is where we all begin to rethink how we design for the future. Let's go back to the Big Mac for a second. There are still many questions to pose about what goes into making this burger. Sure, we got the basic ingredients, but let's go deeper. What farm do those beef patties come from? How are the cows treated, the workers, and how is the patty seasoned? What about the cheese, the onions, the iceberg lettuce, the pickles, the toasted sesame seed bun, and of course, let's not forget the special sauce. Who is making these separate ingredients, and how fresh and how far have they all traveled to end up being at your local McDonald's? Do customers even care? Or is that special sauce so damn good that we are willing to ignore all of these questions? Do you agree though, we need to ask these questions for every object we use just as much as the food we are eating? As a designer, you morally no longer can design a product or service for the sake of design and profit. I mean, would you insist on designing a car today with no seatbelt, which will save lives? Just in Australia alone, we produce 67 million tons of waste each year. We cannot let our ego as designers take place. It's morally not possible to allow this anymore. So, where do we start? Well, I wholeheartedly believe it begins in asking, what is your why and what is your purpose? Not the product, but yours. It's about changing our mindset. Without knowing what kind of legacy and impact we want to leave in this world, then how can we design to support our values? I can tell you from personal experience, this is not an easy task. For me, I had to become my most vulnerable. Has anyone here spent time narrowing down your why and your purpose? It's not easy. All the things I told myself and tried to project to others and who I was, I discovered I wasn't. I was actually presenting myself into the world as someone who wasn't in line with my values in life. The impact I was putting into the world was little when I had the power to do so much more. I abruptly stopped and realized there was a big gap between what was possible and how I was living my life. And with that came a lurking feeling of failure. Have any of you felt like this? The most incredible thing I have learned on this journey is failure is never final. You get up, you dust yourself off, and you start again. Without failing, it would be impossible to achieve our greatest achievements. In fact, I don't believe we fail. We just learn and grow. Once you know what your why and purpose, then it's time to design. Now, you know what impact you want to make in the world. Up until, oh, I love this quote by Ulfa Ellison. Up until now, we have organized our present based on our past. We now need to organize our present according to what we want for the future. The potential of this perspective shift is that it can help us reconsider the traditional idea of progress. Oh, I love it. It's our job now to restore, and it's your duty as a designer. So just imagine every time someone purchased your product you designed, it changed a life. Remember? Click. Imagine you assisted in healing the earth. You are a remarkable person and you have the power to make radical change and quickly. You are the person who gets to help rethink together the future of how we design. It's just incredible. We have designed traditionally on a linear path of take, make, and waste. But did you hear just recently in France, the makers of smartphones and electronic and household appliances will have to specify how their products can be repaired under a French move to curb the practice of planned obsolescence, building them to fail after a certain time. A repairability rating between 1 and 10 is to be displayed on packaging and advertising from next year so consumers can see whether they can expect to mend it when it breaks down. Today, when we draw a new product idea, we must present the whole life cycle of a product to our client or management. Every step of this process, we must know. We must present where the materials come from, how they are not hurting the planet or people, and how to assemble the item and how to disassemble it at the end of its life, and how each component can be reused. We must use less complex materials so it's easier for the item to be recycled or reused. We must identify the real value of every step of the design process. what we are seeing a lot of conversation in now across the globe, championed by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, which is doing extraordinary work, is when we move the linear model into a circular of take plus make plus waste, it begins a new direction in your responsibility as a designer. Traditionally, when we designed a product, we started with the first 4 democratic principles of design. One, it was affordability, form, function, and quality. Then we added sustainability. I think for many of us, sustainability was a product that didn't harm the environment, was made locally, and had longevity. However, this word has become overused, and for a lot of us in design, don't actually know what it means anymore. At the Together project, I'm so proud of my team and how we've redefined sustainability as beautiful design created to last, ethical production, and positive impact before profits. For us, we take a holistic approach to the definition, focusing on the impact of production of an item has across the following key areas. 1, social, 2, environmental, and 3, on cultural. Then from there, we are now seeing brands include circularity into their design principles. When a designer is using circularity, they are asking, how can we prolong the life of a product? The question here to ask, will it be better to actually turn an individual product into a service? Can we ask our brands, are they doing a rental or buyback schemes for their product? And can I make a product that can be repaired, technology can be updated or recycled? And am I using fewer complex materials so it's easier to break down the item? So, for example, not packaging shampoo into a container anymore, but perhaps it's developed as a block of soap, which we're starting to see on the market. And this mobile phone by Fairphone is an incredible example for the future for phones. And if you don't know Fairphone, you 100% need to start researching them and buy their phones actually. So this is where we kind of got to. So affordability plus form, function, quality plus sustainability, and circularity. But we believe at the Together project, this is still not complete to achieve clean design. We need to rework it like this in the design thinking process. We kind of want to shuffle it all around. So remember to focus on the why and purpose. What is the impact you're wanting to make in the world? Then follow the design thinking process with impact plus sustainability, which we discussed, the new way of thinking of that, circularity plus quality plus form, function, and then affordability, which is where we originally started design thinking with affordability. So here is a beautiful design that combines all of those assets by a brand I really, really admire. They're called A Good Company, who we are hoping that we'll get onto the Together project sooner than later. The Humanium metal pen is a testament that the pen is mightier than the sword by A Good Company. The impact Humanium metal they used for the pen is a special element made from upcycled illegal firearms. 25% of each sale goes towards projects tackling violent crime in El Salvador. Projects are carefully selected by their partner NGO IM, who produce the Humanium metal. The circularity is that A Good Company is using recycled metal, and you refill the pen with ink cartridges, which you can purchase from A Good Company, and it can all be recyclable. Its sustainable packaging is made from cork, which is from Portugal, and the recycled aluminium is from Sweden. and how they're bringing the product to their warehouse. They produce and ship in bulk without plastic, and the transport method to their warehouse is by train. And the factory that has the Humanium Metal Factory is where workers are working in safe conditions and they're being paid above a fair wage. And climate issues addressed, like plastic is damaging the earth, and they're certified with CE. And their long-term aim is to eradicate mindless consumption and help people make more conscious decisions. They do this through educational outreach, community support, and environmental efforts like planting trees. And the best thing about a good company is that they're so friggin' transparent that all of this information is on their platform or their website. So why is it important for you to design this way? Well, it's so simple. People and planet always comes before design, ego, and profit. If you are buying product ranges for your brand, then this is important. It's really important for you to listen to what we have just told you about how to rethink together and how we design for the future. But I can give you a sneak peek at how we vet brands, services, and causes who we let on our platform. We created a checklist at the Together Project that poses simple questions to set you up when you vet a supplier or manufacturer, to check back in that they have the same values in putting the planet and people in the forefront of their design. We focus on the impact of a product and its entire design DNA. For us, impact plus product actually equals meaning. So this is a really basic way of kind of show you what we kind of look at for on the Together Project with the businesses that are wanting to sell on our platform. And we kind of are needing brands who are already hitting some of these areas of criteria. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it's kind of a bit like a B Corp situation. So we will identify the 3 areas that they're really excelling in, and then we will probably identify 3 areas that they could improve in. And the brands have committed to within the 12 months to really work on those areas, which then really can give confidence to the consumer that they know where they're spending money is making a real impact in the world. And I've got to say that when we first started to build the checklist that we were sending out to brands, there were some brands that I thought in the home sector, especially, would be like nailing it. Like they were so far ahead, I thought, in sustainability. And when we actually checked them off, they kind of got rated around 4 out of 10. And it was honestly like getting a little like punch in the tummy and all my air just taken out of me. And my head of sustainability, Katie, kind of just said, "Well, welcome to the baptism of fire of this world." And it really shook me because I always thought the home sector was ahead of the fashion sector. But what came really clear to me is that home sector kind of focused just on longevity and things being made locally, which just is not enough in making change for the world, for our environment and socially. And so actually I found the fashion industry, which was, I found shocking, to be leaps and bounds ahead of the home sector. And it's a lot of it too, actually, is brands, like really simple things, are just not sharing the information that they probably are doing things, but it's just not on their websites. And so that's something we really encourage brands to do. And it's such an easy fix straight away. So the fact is, right now, this is a challenging time and more is to come. You, your family, and your brand are going to be impacted by COVID-19 right now. And the best advice I can give you if you're wanting to create a dynamic and relevant brand in today's market is from Don Tapscott and David Tickell, who wrote The Naked Corporation. You're going to be naked, so you better be buff. I know there is a lot on your shoulders right now. Yes, it's challenging, but if you have a brand right now, it's your vehicle to be successful. The brands we are seeing who are making and kicking butt right now are the brands who have pivoted and evolved and have changed their products, services, and website. The brands who are not surviving are not changing. COVID is your wake up call. And I'm here to tell you just how we can rethink together how we build our brands and sell our product. The first thing you need to do is look at what is happening in the world right now and what has become important to people right now. The first thing most of us is wanting is hope. As customers, we are wanting hope, not in damaging the planet, and we are wanting to see equality. I mean, put your hands up right now. Who's turned into Greta Thunberg movement, or who's watched the David Attenborough documentaries? I mean, who, when they saw the Black Lives Matter movement take place, wanted to make racism stop today? I know I did. Your IBM put out a report, Meet the 2020 Consumers, Driving Change, why brands must deliver on sustainability. Did you know it states, 6 in 10 consumers are willing to change their purchasing habits to help reduce negative impact to the environment, and among those who say sustainability is important for them. This jumps to 77%. It gets better because of those who say these traits are very important. Over 7 in 10 are willing to pay a premium for brands that support recycling, practice sustainability, and or are environmentally responsible. So yes, you can be profitable whilst focusing on putting the planet and people first in your business plan. No longer as a brand can we hide our shortcuts, sacrifices to make more profit on a product line, and no longer can we cover up the harm we are causing to people who make our product or purchase it. Nor can we ignore the damage your product could be causing from the path to purchase and the path past purchase. You can't be ignorant anymore in knowing every detail of your supply chain, including the afterlife of your product. This is your chance right now to rethink together how we can build a brand and sell your products. Did you know that we only take up 0.01%, not 1%, 0.1% of all life on the planet? Don't you think it is staggering how we caused so much destruction? Who here has heard there will be more plastic in the sea than fish by 2050? However, there are initiatives like Plastic Bank, who we support on the Together project, who have put a product that was a waste with a value. Plastic Bank has set up a drop-off points in developing countries where local people can trade ocean-bound and be paid above the market rate for plastic. This increases the recycling rate for ocean-bound plastic while giving collectors a path out of poverty. And yes, this is who you can purchase your plastic from. The UN called all of us to action, telling the world we are in a planetary emergency. And the WWF says since the 1970s, close to 70% of wild animals, birds, and fish have vanished. I can tell you right now, just like COVID, these problems are going to impact you if we don't change how we operate our brands. And the best advice is to focus your business on prevention over reacting to cures when we are hurting. Did you know the world is running out of usable sand? We use for nearly every product and building around you right now. The glass that you drink from, your computer screens, your phone screens, the roads that you drive your cars on, everything, even water that you get out of the tap uses sand. It's such a problem that a huge black market is operating to sell sand, and that people in certain countries where these black uh, markets are operating, people are actually being killed for telling us that we're running out of sand. So let's just pause for a minute. At this very moment, there is a child who is being treated as a slave to mine raw materials to help make our mobile phones. At this very moment, there are people dying in factories due to poor work conditions. And this moment, water and soil is being contaminated due to large industries not taking environmental care with the toxic waste they produce. I know the natural thing right now is to switch off because it all feels just too much. But all I'm trying to say is there is another way. And I really do think we can do this. Put your hands up if you agree. How can we ignore as a brand to not take responsibility in the end life of our product now? We know that our recycling and a lot of our landfill waste has been shipped to other countries and sitting in their landfills, causing harm and disease to the local people who live in those communities. When we can follow brands who are leading the way, like who are showing us that there is a way to do better. I mean, look at French fashion label Mud Jeans. They provide a system for any brand who sell products to follow. Mud Jeans has what sells jeans. One of the dirtiest items of clothing in your closet also happens to be the most popular. A pair of jeans is a pair of jeans. Oh, sorry, I'm so dyslexic, so I apologize. Words jump around for me, so I apologize if I'm sort of falling apart here and there, but I'm doing my best to try and give you all this information. Mud Jeans is recognized this from the beginning of their journey in 2013 and have built truly sustainable jeans from the ground up, always with people, the planet, and animals at the forefront of their minds. Certified B Corp Mud Jeans recognize that transparency is key when it comes to truly ethical business operations. Mud's conscious production extends to their colleagues in the factories where their products are created. By maintaining a short supply chain, transparency, and working in close relationships with their manufacturers stay possible. In fact, they have only 3 main suppliers whom they visit regularly or have audited by a third party to ensure high standards are met. They work to directly create a safer and healthier environment for their workers, including the payment of a living wage. Their jeans are designed for recycling, which means no leather patches, only recycled and organic cotton and stainless steel buttons. Yes, they are also PETA certified vegan. Production is circular, which means resources like water, CO2, and newly harvested cotton are minimized. so the jeans can be recycled over and over again. Their circularity also extends to consumption, with a goal that their jeans never end up in landfills or incinerators. Customers can buy or lease their jeans, use them as long as they want, and send them back for recycling. Already, my jeans is leaps and bounds ahead of most. But they still are not satisfied and are continually working with new goalposts to keep improving the life of their workers and the end of their product. So just imagine, by your choices in how you structure your brand and what you decide to sell, you could actually potentially save 5,000 trees today. Or imagine you could literally save at least one person's life today because they had enough money to feed themselves and their children. Remember, it can just be by a click. Isn't that a system you want to be a part of? The first place to start is to take the advice from Rose Marcio, who was CEO of brand Patagonia. She pushes the people around her to work in a 30-year framework. Rose believes we need to understand the long-range consequences of business decisions rather than merely what will move the needle next month or next year. Let me ask you, what is the legacy you as a brand are wanting to leave? What as a brand are you giving back? Do you feel too that we have been living in a world of chronic short-termism? We have all been conditioned to be a very throwaway society. So what do customers want to buy? They are wanting to buy from brands who are authentically caring for the planet and the people on it. Here's a tip. Products need to act more like people, embodying the values that make us trust each other in the peer-to-peer world. This is when you are going to see clicks, clicks, and clicks. And remember, those clicks have the possibility to make change to the world. Joel Solomon, who has been a huge inspiration to me, author of The Clean Money Revolutions, asks us, I'd love you to shut your eyes actually while I say this. Shut your eyes. I can see you. Come on, shut them. Okay. Can you stop for one moment and imagine our world 3 generations from now? The world of your great grandchildren. Imagine for one moment the oceans have been restored by the removal of plastics and filled with ocean life. Farming enhances our natural ecosystems. Renewable energy, smart transit, and living buildings are the norm. Just think, if we have an economy that serves both people and planet, with everyone's basic needs being met and abundant opportunities for meaningful work. Goods are produced in a closed loop production cycle, and the concept of waste no longer exists. Nature heals itself as we take off the pressure. It's a world of true security, no longer divided between haves and haves not. Just think. As a brand, if you have this vision and work towards to contribute to this future, what the possibilities are. If we all have this vision, this is where we can rethink together how to brand and sell. Make sure you know and are listening to your customers right now. You can target people by their behavior. Whatever the mission you are trying to drive in your social or environmental justice, be a good, strong listener first. Then determine how you can assist through your capital or through your connections or both. Who are you responsible for? Your customers, your shareholders, your employees? Well, at the Together Project, we would argue none of the above. Fundamentally, Your business is responsible for your resource space. Without a healthy environment, there are no shareholders, there are no employees, and no customers and no business. Profit is important to grow your business. And yes, I consider profit is a vote of confidence that your customers approve what we are doing. Part of our mission statement at the Together Project is using business to implement and inspire solutions to the environmental crisis. At the Together Project, we want to lead the way in the corporate world. We have to be profitable. No company will respect us, no matter how much money we give away, if we are not profitable. I want the same for you. Who is here who wants to raise your income, have impact, and be influential? I don't have enough time to really spend the time with you how you can do this in detail. But make sure when we launch, go to the Together Project and definitely look for some courses to do with us to help you in these areas. Right now, though, I want you to invite you to make that commitment in recharging your brand to be in line with what the world is wanting to see right now. So grab your phone or hop on your computer and go on the togetherproject.co. And even if we haven't launched yet, if you watch this, there is a mailing list to sign up to. Please sign up to it so we can tell you when we have launched. And if you are a brand that wants to, who's making impact in the world, then we would love to hear from you, or positive impact anyway. And we'd love to hear from you. And so we could send you the questionnaire to do a checklist with you and hopefully get you onto the platform. So please grab your phone, hop on your computer, thetogetherproject.co, sign up to that mailing list. And if the site is live when you've watched it, and you are an impact brand, go to the contact us page and you can fill in all the details there. Out of interest, who has already hooked up with a charity or an initiative like, say, like One Tree Planted or Eden Reforestation Projects, for each product you sell is like carbon offsetting? Hands up. If you are, it's fantastic. But the thing that I really need you to look at is, and I need to let me ask you, is how have you worked on your supply chain to ensure it's positive towards the planet and all of us who live on it? The factor is there is a lot of brands, especially wealthy brands, who are greenwashing by jumping on board, by putting a tiny bit of profits towards, by giving back, but they are not investing in where it really matters. So yeah, if you're carbon offsetting and not actually looking at your supply chain, then you're not really going to make a change to the environment, and you are literally greenwashing. You really do need it to make sure it is part of your DNA and your organization. That, yeah, because the fact is, a lot of brands are greenwashing by jumping on board by putting a tiny bit of profits towards giving back. The most important thing before I leave you today, though, is that what will make you stand out more than other brands out there? And it's so simple. And we talked about it right at the beginning. Transparency. 70% of consumers are more interested in transparency about products rather than the companies who made them. How long do you think we have to grab our customers' attention? It is literally 1.7 or a swipe on our phone. It's like swipe, swipe, swipe. So brands build consumer loyalty with radical transparency, not kooky branding. Between corporate reporting and brand purpose, product proof is the missing ingredient for consumer trust. So let's champion the change makers, the dreamers, the courageous, the disruptors, those who know we can do better, the ones who have the vision of a better world, the ones who stand up strong, unflappable, despite the odds, fearless and defiant. They fight for fairness, equality, and healing our planet. You can judge them, envy them, worship or condemn them. But the one thing you can't do is ignore them. They create the change which is necessary to push the human race forward. While some may see them as radicals, we see superheroes, the people who are ambitious enough to rethink they can change the world. These are the rare ones who you find on the Together Project. So let's rethink together and join the Together Project platform and become a vendor, and let us not only help you to grow your income, influence, and the impact you can have in the world. Let us help you bring positive change in a person's life today. And remember, it literally only takes one click to change the world. Thank you, everybody, for your time today. It honestly has been truly a gift, and I am so, so grateful to have this moment with you. Please, again, hop on to the Together Project, or go onto our Instagram, which is at the together.project, and follow us. We're here ready to embrace you, have you part of our community, and we can't wait to see designers and brands embracing this new way of thinking. And we welcome you all onto the Together Project. Thank you. Take care.